of the stars.
Have mercy, Mr. Attitude, Eric Wiltsher. Eric, give me a break.
Why? It was a lovely noise. Welcome to Postcard from Poprad. That's a beautiful noise. We love that noise immensely, don't we?
I'm not listening.
Why?
Because I'm trying to switch my phone off.
Oh, that's all right. I haven't got my phone here. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is Postcard from Poprad with Eric and Leigh today because Rachel's not feeling so well. Well, you can't wave on the radio, I keep telling you.
I'm waving on the thing.
Yeah, but other people driving in their cars can't see you waving. You have to say, hello.
Hello. I don't say it like that. How do you do?
That's more like it. Have you crashed your bike yet? I nearly did with Leigh on the back. He went the wrong way.
Even I've got to admit, it is an absolutely magical bike. It's very funny, and everybody looks at us, and it's just magical. I don't like me hat what he makes me wear because he thinks it makes me look stupid.
Yes, this is very true. Afternoon to Peter, to Steve, to Robert. Hans Knott is there. Hello, Hans.
Hello, Mr. Knott.
Goedemiddag. You see? Did you get that?
I'm still trying to switch this off.
Well, just leave it. Leave it alone.
Right.
Robert is there, as is Elaine.
I wanted to say something to Hans.
What do you want to say to Hans?
Have you got knees and bumpsy daisy there with you?
Ha 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 ha. Dave's in the house, as is Jean-Claude. Mike Cullen. Dave says, born to be mild. That's Leigh.
That's my joke, actually.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Rhodes.
Afternoon, Mike. Mike Cullen, that is. Kevin's there, all the way from Bedfordshire. Pete and David are also in the house as well. Say hello to so many people on the Xbox now.
Look at that.
I know, they're all going bonkers on there. It's really kind of cool.
I
Nice to
can't
have
read
you.
it, though. It's too far away. I can see Jazzy.
Sometimes you despair, don't you? And Elaine's saying hello from Cape Town in South Africa. Hello, Elaine.
Hello, Elaine. Do you know Catherine?
Yeah, probably. Hans says he's liking your little comment. Hans likes your comment.
It was very childish. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Do you know what, boys and girls? It's a real honour to know Hans because he's so mild, a gentleman mild.
He is born to be mild.
Yeah, and he knows so much about radio. Honestly, he's got a brain about radio you just can't believe. And he writes lovely books about it as well. If you ever see one written by Hans Knott, it's well worth reading because he researches them properly. He doesn't rewrite history, as so many people do when they write a book. It kind of gets flowered up a bit.
Can I just mention another?
Can you sit by your microphone instead of sitting over here?
I want to be near you.
Sit by your microphone.
Why have you put it over there so I have to disappear?
No, I put it there so you could get to it closer than you normally do. That's where you normally sit.
Right. Anyway, what was that? Can I mention another book?
Yeah, go on then.
Well, I just wanted to say, I've now completely read the Royal Ruler and the Railway DJ.
Amazing book, isn't it?
And it's really good, really good. Sonia, don't be upset about what you were telling me. It survives that. But what we're going to do at the ConsumerWatchFoundation.com...
Blimey, that was quick.
We're going to take a couple of the stories out of the book and retell them, which will help the book sell and everything. It's a really nice book.
This is what I like about Hans, really do.
So does your book as well, Hans?
He's written a message on here. He says, I don't know everything. I learn every day. What a wonderful attitude to have.
Absolutely.
Absolutely spot on, mate. Who else is there? Ferro's there. David Elphick is there.
David Elphick?
Yes.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of a different one.
Well, it might be the same one. You never know.
No, it's a Michael.
Oh, it's a Michael Elphick. And Dubri Den Ever. Say Dubri Den properly.
Dubri Den properly?
Oh, yeah, no.
Dubri Den.
Oh, dear.
Oh, he said, tell me, is it Dobry Den or Dubri Den or
Neither.
Dovry? It's Dovy Den.
Dobry.
No, it's got a V in it.
Dobry.
It's got a V in it.
Dobry.
If you read The Wall in Aldi, it's got a V in it.
I know. Dobry.
Have they got it wrong? Has Aldi got it wrong?
because it's the way you enunciate different letters together. There's actually a change of... when there's some letters you join together and they actually sound different.
Well, yeah, that's like it anyway.
It's like if I do an image of a C, what would you say the sound is?
Waves.
What would you say the image of a C when you say it? You go,
C. No, I'd say C.
C or K, yeah?
Yeah, well, yeah.
But in Slovak, it's a S.
A C.
Yeah.
Because they've all got false teeth.
The only K is a K.
Yeah. Kicking K.
Kicking K. Yeah, that's all right, isn't it? Anyway, we digress, as we always do. But anyway, yes, we did like this.
Have mercy.
Which what?
Mr.
This one.
Attitude, Eric Wiltsher.
I was Mr. Attitude.
Yeah, I've spent time in Hollywood Hills with him.
We were there, and it was fun, wasn't it?
He's lovely. He's really funny. He cooked lunch on his outside barbecue, which I think he got 2 of actually, to my memory.
What's that got to do with the motorbike?
Oh, we're on the motorbike now. I'm talking about Roscoe.
Oh no, we've done that already. We've done Roscoe before, but I mean,
You're pointing at Roscoe on the thing.
oh god, you can't win, can you, boys and girls?
Yes, the bike's lovely.
Yeah, and as we're riding around, he's like Her Majesty the Queen on the back of it.
I'm doing waving for all the people who can't see me. I'm doing waving like the Queen.
He was sitting on the back of the bike, waving like a queen.
Not like a queen, like the Queen.
Like a queen, more like. Hi to Dean and to Barry, who just joined us. You're
Hello,
late.
Dean and Barry.
You're late, boys. We must say hello to Sniper. He said, great, I can't go to sleep. I do like you, mate. That's lovely. And we'll say a quick other couple of hellos on one of the other chat rooms.
See?
To Elias and to Han. And as usual, if I scroll up a little bit, he's always there. Shane, Billy, Jesse, they're all in there.
Big Jesse.
I don't know about that. Don't know. Milan is there. Manor is there as well. So many of you. Lovely to have you with us, boys and girls.
Yes.
Do stay tuned. We shall try our best to entertain you through the hour. But, you know, it's just...
Well, no, the problem is we've got Eric here, so
Thank you.
it's all right. You just called me a queen.
You should have seen the way you were trying to get on the bike. That was
That was because you were sitting there now to get me leg over your head.
No, you just put your foot on the footrest and...
But you're still sitting there.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. But I do have to say thank you to all the biker community in Poprad who welcomed us so
Who
warmly.
tried not to laugh as we drove past.
Yeah, right. No, they just welcomed us so warmly, didn't they?
They did, really, honestly, yeah.
Everybody's
Yeah.
been waving. It's been absolutely fabulous. And wherever we seem to go, we manage to draw a crowd for some reason.
Yeah, well, that's because I'm there. But
Yeah, right.
no, we went to a little cafe in Spitska Sobota. Did I say that right? Did I say that right?
Just about, yeah.
What do you mean, just about Spitska Sobota?
Well, it's because you emphasised the O too much.
That's because I'm a Mancunian.
I know.
So, anyway, we went to a cafe, right?
Oh, God.
And this is it, right? This is it. Talking about being born to be wild.
No! Brilliant. Thanks, Dave. I'm going to do this in my best announcing voice. A message from David J. Rhodes. Leigh G. Banks.
Yeah.
Having trouble getting his leg over?
Anyway, listen.
You know what's going to happen
but
now? There'll
Dave-
be some young kids going, Mummy, what does that mean?
I know, why can't Lee get his leg over?
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's very old.
No, it's because he was... it's like when you get on a horse, kid. He can't get his leg over the back of a horse.
I can't get me leg over the back of Eric's head. It's perfectly easy if you get off the bike and let me get on first because I'm stuck in the back seat.
Oh, right then.
It's like you don't get in a sports car with 2 front doors and sit in the driver's seat, then I have to climb over you to get into the back seat. That's what you were doing on the bike seat. Your fault. Anyway, so we were doing Born to be Wild
Yes.
on our blue shiny bike, like that, going, brum, brum, bum, 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 bum,
Yeah.
driving down the road like that. Me with my funny hat on, you with your big, you look like the Michelin man in black. Yeah, the man in black. And all of a sudden we decided to go to this cafe, and you know what we did? As wild Hell's Angels. We had 2 cups of coffee and a bit of carrot cake.
Steve says, I'm not worried about his leg, I'm more worried that he'll split his pants. True, Steve. We need photos. What do you mean we need photos of this? We've got photos.
Yeah, they've been everywhere.
Did you put them on your Facebook thing?
I didn't because of my stupid hat.
Oh, I see. Yes, I kind of follow that. Anyway, yes, we'll probably return to that in a while, as we will do, across the time. So, yes, we've been out on the bike. It's all got its bits of paper in the right places.
It's blue and speckly. It's like a hen's egg.
The fan off. I can hear the fan. Hello to Steve Ward, Mr. Engineering at the moment, building aerials. I can't believe it. He's building AM aerials, boys and girls.
Who is?
Steve Ward.
What's he doing?
Making aerials.
What, like motorbikes?
No, not an aerial as in a motorbike.
Oh.
Aerial as in a big round loopy thing.
A big round loopy thing?
Yeah.
That's a swimming pond.
Yeah, I quite agree. We don't need photos of Leigh splitting his pants, do we? No. Very, very much so not. Do we then, Hanker, who's in Bratislava? Blimey, we're all over the place. South Africa, Bratislava, blimey, oh no. Oh, gold. Actually, that'd be fun.
What would?
We'll have to get Hanker, because she comes to Poprad.
Hanker?
Yeah. Hanker, will you come on the back of my motorbike?
Hanker, we're hankering after you going on the back of our motorbike.
You have to speak slowly, because her English is a bit malachki, small.
Hanker.
Not that slow, you fool. Let's get on with some news. There you go, Hanker, an offer for you. You can come on the back of the motorbike.
That was a bit fast.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I will slow down then.
Okay.
Do my best BBC voice. Oh, actually, I've got to say hello, just in case he's listening, to a retired BBC producer called Peter.
Peter what?
I don't remember.
Have you been watching The Press on the BBC?
No.
What a brilliant programme that is. Absolutely. Because I know the man it's based on. It's actually based on...
Is it a documentary or a drama?
No, it's a drama.
All right.
And it's actually based... And all my journalistic colleagues out there will know him, the man who wrote From the Gutter Press to God. And I've completely forgotten his name now.
What, Derek Jameson?
No, not Derek Jameson. It'll come to me in a minute. I'll read it. Watch it. It's really good. It is really like a good behind-the-scenes view of what newspapers are really, really
I'm
like.
trying to think of that one that they did many, many years ago about a newsroom all based around Sky News.
Drop the Dead Donkey.
Was it Drop the Dead Donkey? Because there was two. There was two at the same time.
That was a comedy.
Yeah.
This isn't. This is a drama. It's really good.
Yeah,
really good.
really, very, very funny. Hot Metal.
The bloke it's about...
Dave, that's the one. Hot Metal. Thank you. That's very good.
Hang on, I've remembered.
What?
Let me say it before I forget. Oh, I've forgotten again.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Terry Lovell. It's based on the life story of Terry Lovell, who was news editor of the Sunday People and was one of the most glorious characters, apart from Derek Jameson, in newspapers. And it is loosely based on his life story, even down to the fact that he slept in his car when he first moved onto a newspaper. Sorry,
all right. Hans says, well, not everyone in the press is the same, which is often forgotten. And that is true.
Eh? Say that
That's
again.
very true, Hans.
What do you mean?
Not everybody, he's referring to press people, not everybody in the press is the same.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah, which is often forgotten, and I quite agree with you.
Yeah, but nobody said they were the same, Hans.
No, but we were just talking about a whole load of different people in the conversation.
That's it, it was a conversation.
Hi, Radislav, and to Jackie, and Sashka has just joined us as well. Hello, Sashka. Nice to have you with us. We start off, let's go on with a bit of news.
Yeah, really sad.
Blimey, we've gone. You can tell Rachel's not here, can't you?
Have I mentioned the Consumer Watch Foundation?
Yeah, you've done that already.
Oh, okay.
But we haven't said get well soon to Rach, who's got a poorly headache.
Oh, poorly head.
No, she's got migraine, actually, not a headache.
Bad.
Because she'd be here with headache. The lovely lady called Fenella Fielding. What a wonderful lady. She's died at the age of 90 after a stroke. Luckily, after the stroke, she was really relaxed and chilled out and looked very calm and placid, which is wonderful. And if you don't know, have a look at the Carry On films. Yeah. Carry On Regardless and Carry On Screaming. And the end of Carry On Screaming, I always remember that quote. I'm frying tonight!
Infamy, they've all got it, infamy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice because, well, it's not nice, but it's a fitting thing that she was awarded an OBE this year. And it's sad, she was 90 years old and she's moved on, but everybody should remember her for those incredible eyelashes she used to have.
And do you know what? She still had her eyelashes on when she was in bed passing away.
Are you telling the truth?
Excuse me. from her people. During that time, she's been very comfortable and always looked tranquil and divine, and always wearing her eyelashes.
All right, I'll let you get away with it.
Let me get away with it.
Oh, look.
Oh, hang on. We're being asked here to settle an argument.
Go on, then.
Because it's in the same era, actually. Can you solve an argument?
Yes.
Were the characters in The Boat That Rocked based on real people?
Yes.
Some yes, some no.
Well, that's what, yes.
Some yes, some no.
Because they're not all the same in radio. They're not all the same people. People are different.
They are, but there was strands of different characters taken and put into the film characters, Steve, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's like we're saying about Terry Lovell, who was news editor at the Sunday People. It's loosely based on his story. I know his story. I worked with him for quite a while, and he was a great character. There are plenty of other people in there, but it's elements of their life story that give... Like with The Boat That Rocked, give it its reality, give it its sense of existence.
I mean, there were sort of bits of Emperor Roscoe, bits of Johnny Walker, all in there. There was definitely bits of John Peel in the movie as well. And, there were traits of it, but not the entire character, Steve. So you could answer yes and you could answer no. I think we all dream on that when they go, only kidding folks, let's rock, and the minister goes, us. We laugh a lot, as we still do to this day. Which reminds me, I've just been, we've got to do that piece about 17 Curzon Street, the phone box.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I've found a lot out about that.
Yeah. Lots and lots and lots. Anyway, also passed away this week was Rashid Taha. He was living in Paris, originally from Algeria. And you might not have known him, but he was one of these guys that helped Arabic fusion come to life.
He did, yeah.
And it was Arabic. There was an amazing station launched. MBC-FM in the Middle East, which I made all the programmes for. It was brilliant. I just loved the Arabic fusion music. It was just brilliant.
It was brilliant. He actually started out as a punk, and his career didn't really take off then, but then he started to, bit like you say, he built stuff against the backbeats of bands like Kraftwerk and Led Zeppelin, and he created this incredible kind of mixture of traditional African rock and techno and dance. It was fabulous,
We just got invited for dinner.
Dubai.
Hans just said he's doing... he's going to the kitchen. He's making an Indonesian meal.
All right.
It's a pity you're so far away. You can always fly over with it, Hans.
You can always put it in the post.
Yeah, apparently cooking is the third favourite thing after my love and radio. Oh, that's nice. He's put his wife first.
Who's his third thing? Oh, right, yeah, Mrs. Hans.
Mrs. Knott, and then radio, and then cooking. I'm kind of similar with that, you know, Hans.
Well, you're in love with Mrs. Knott.
No, fool. Anyway, another sort of cult TV series. Yeah, it is a cult TV series.
Yeah,
Blake's 7, which wasn't a programme I actually got into. I watched it a few times.
It's because it was rubbish.
It wasn't for me.
It was like Crossroads in space. It was rubbish.
The sets were a bit down.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, Jacqueline Pearce, she started at the age of 70.
She was nice, though.
She was the one reason I watched.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, we won't go into that. Yeah.
No, we won't do it. Anyway, R.I.P. to you, lovely lady. Hi to Joel and Edmund as well. We haven't said hello to you or Noreen or John. Good afternoon, one and all. Now we move on to another one of my silly stories. Brotherhood of Man.
Oh, my God.
I don't know if you were here then, were you?
What?
Can't remember. Anyway, the creator of Brotherhood of Man, Tony Hiller, has sadly passed away at 91. He was just a sweet bloke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. He did better things than the Brotherhood of Man, though.
Well, it was probably the thing he's most remembered for.
Yeah, but that's derisory. That's insulting. He shouldn't be remembered for Brotherhood of the Man. He should be remembered for things like I'd like to teach the world to sing and that kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's it's difficult.
Let's say, Save All Your Kisses for Me. Oh, for God, no. Up against, which is a pop song.
I'd like to teach the world to sing, yeah. It's better.
Yes.
Of course it is.
Yes.
But anyway, thank you, Tony, because courtesy of you, I got a standing ovation, mate. You're a wonderful man.
What's all over your story? Go on,
No, were you not here when it was the World Travel Awards? I don't think
I was.
Don't think
No.
you were. Because we had... about 4 or 5 years ago, the World Travel Awards were held in Poprad, and the warm-up act was the Backward Beatles. And they come from just down the road, and they are, Peter and the team, they are fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, close your eyes, you cannot hear the difference.
Yeah.
They're that good. And what's more, they are Slovak guys, which makes it harder for them. You know? Pardon me.
Can I just say something about that as well? Has anybody read the Paul McCartney interviews in, I forgot which Q magazine I think it is. What a load of despicable, shameful rubbish that is. The things that he's tried to reveal in a jokey fashion about John Lennon and the nefarious acts that they carried out in a darkened room, he should be put up against a wall and shot.
Well, you always say that about Paul anyway.
Well, this song got a reason.
Oh, all right. Anyway, so there we are at the middle of the World Travel Awards, and I come in a bit late. One of the PR people was there, and she was goading me. Goading me, taking the mickey. She did. Because it's Brotherhood of Man. Can you do the dance, Mr. DJ?
Oh, you didn't.
I did. I actually got up on the stage with, I can't remember her name now, the lead singer lady. She was just cracked up. And she thought I was going to make a pig's ear of it. The only thing I did wrong is I went on the part of the chorus. I went one line too quickly.
Oh, no.
So she stopped me. She said, wait a minute. And then we started again. And she was cracked up. She's going, you can do it. Yeah. So there I was in front of about 300 people doing the dance with Brotherhood of Man on the stage.
And that, ladies and gentlemen,
it's a
boys
sight to
and
be
girls,
seen.
Is his claim to fame.
Was it? Is it really? So you're starting a tribute band now? No.
No!
No, absolutely not. Not. I can't anymore. My voice is gone, man. But the trouble, I don't know what it is though.
Oh.
Whenever there's like a stage thing,
Yes.
I have one of my moments.
And you have to get up and perform.
I do.
You do the same when you open the fridge as well. The light goes on, don't you?
Yes. Ta-da! It was the same in Cyprus. I had to get on the stage.
I know.
I'm terrible. I really am. I'm absolutely terrible. Anyway, good news. Good news. The former Hurricane Florence has now been downgraded. They are still looking at sort of 2 to 3 metres of water pouring into North and South Carolina. But the more it dies away, you never know your luck.
That's right,
but we do wish everybody out there who's boarded up, sandbagged up and everything else, good luck. I hope everything works out for you. And more importantly, when you go home later, everything's still there.
Well, I spent quite a time out in North Carolina, and what a fabulous place it is. And
it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you've been there as well, haven't you?
Yeah,
and
it's beautiful.
Just for it to face devastation yet again, it's such a tragedy.
Yeah,
I
it certainly
just
is.
hope it all works out. Yeah,
Indeed. Staying in America, unfortunately, and when I first saw this on the TV, do you know my reaction was, "Oh, not another gunman." And I didn't even listen to the words coming out the television, and I should
there
have.
has been another gunman as well.
Well, yes, there is that, true. But it how automatic your brain goes.
Yeah,
click. But fortunately, this wasn't, although the injuries were bad enough. One person's died, 12 have been injured, after a gas explosion in the UK. US,
United States.
Sorry, in Massachusetts. And it was just because the pressure was too high.
39 properties were hit, though. That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, and I quite agree, Steve. There is a large storm over in the Far East. It's off towards Japan at the moment. It doesn't get as much coverage, even though it's supposed to be worse. The reason it's not getting the coverage yet is it's not close enough to land. And like the one in America, they're keeping their fingers crossed. It's going to be downgraded from to a tropical storm. Now, if it gets to that, then that's thank you God, everything's marvellous.
Well, that's right. Yeah, the coverage has happened. It's been covered, and the fact that it's been downgraded has been covered. The fact that it's over Japan has been covered, and actually nothing's happened yet.
No, 6 people have been killed in California shooting, as Leigh quite rightly said, over in Bakersfield.
Been there as well.
I haven't been there. Anyway, the gunman and his wife shown up at a trucking business where they seem to have had a dispute over money, and unfortunately the guy ended up shooting himself as well. His wife, which is very, very sad. Good news here. There's some new research out in Australia, and it is important to say to you, the Great Barrier Reef in Australia is actually quite a good measuring device for the world and how it's working.
Yeah.
And I mean in terms of the science areas, underwater and all the rest of it. Now, for years, the Great Barrier Reef has been bleached beyond belief and was dying out. Now, for some amazing reason, due to the different summers, it's actually starting to grow back.
That's right.
Which is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
The change in the weather is absolutely amazing, isn't it?
It is.
It's
lovely.
Well, it is, today, usually I end up at this studio dripping wet because of the rain. Today I've ended up at the studio dripping wet because it's boilingly beautiful.
Yeah, but Leigh.
What now?
It means we can take the bike out tonight because it's dry.
Ooh.
I can't take the bike out when it's raining because it might get wet.
Because you might do a skiddy. That's terrible. We shouldn't have said that.
I
didn't mean that, ladies and gentlemen.
It came out of your mouth, didn't it? It really did.
Oh, no, that makes it even worse.
No, it's like last Saturday. I swear Martina was laughing at me because we had a little bit of rain on Saturday as I was cleaning. And the minute the rain had stopped, I said, Martina, have you got cloth? Right, I said, I need to dry the bike off. Actually, I have to say hello to Pat.
Pat?
Yeah, you're Pat.
Pat, hello, mate, how you doing?
The world's biggest gold nugget ever has been found in Australia. It's a £200 monster of a nugget, and it's worth about $3 million. Now, I'm not sure if that's $1 million Australian.
I think it would be Australian dollars,
probably, which is about 10 million quid.
Yeah,
wow.
I know. And this bloke, what's his name? Oh, it's gone out. It's not there now. It used to be in it. Oh, Mr. Dole. Yes. He's called Mr. Dole. I wonder if he was on it before he found it. But yeah, he's found it, and he's going to be a millionaire.
What a lucky boy.
I know. Well done, Mr. Dole.
Having said that, some of these miners that go drift mining up in Western Australia, I mean, the life they have to live is absolutely appalling.
Oh, yeah, but it's what it is. It's this grand adventure and dream, isn't it?
Of course.
Of doing exactly what Mr. Dole, Henry Dole he's called.
Yes.
And he's actually a driller. And he was at the Beta Hunt mine near Cambalda, yeah, and it just is that incredible dream. You go out there, it's like a grand old Western movie where you just head out into the hills with a dream, and 9 times out of 10 it doesn't work, but it has for Henry Dole.
Well done, mate. The scallop wars may rumble on.
I've never had a scallop, have you?
Yeah.
No, I've always wanted to have scallops, but I don't want them. Whenever I see them, I don't want them.
Well, because they're in the shells.
Are they? Do they come in shells? I thought they came in tins.
Oh. Were they served to you in a shell?
I've not had any, so I don't know.
Have you not had oysters either?
Yeah, oysters. No, that has an effect on me.
What?
Well, you know, what brandy makes you.
Yeah.
Oysters do as
Well,
well.
they are supposed to be an aphrodisiac.
You said that naughty word.
It's not a naughty word. It's an aphrodisiac.
Yeah, it makes you...
Yes. Does that as well. No, I think the first time I had scallops was down in Padstow. Yeah, it would have been.
I've never had them. I've always wanted them.
Who's that famous restaurateur from Padstow? The TV chef. Went to his restaurant.
Who?
There's a famous TV chef.
Come on, Steve. Who's the famous Padstow chef?
Famous Padstow TV chef.
Oh, in Cornwall?
Yeah.
Him?
Yeah, in Padstow.
Yeah, a bit on the plump side, a bit sort of...
No.
Vague.
No. He's not plump.
I'm bald.
Going thin, yes. Drives a Discovery, I think. Or
Wears a cowboy hat, a straw cowboy hat.
I don't know.
And he's not effeminate, but he's a bit sort of gentle.
Gentle person, yes.
A gentle person. Very
Yes.
nice, actually. It's him.
Don't know yet.
Don't know yet. Who's that?
What do you mean?
Who?
There's nobody into the programme today keeping the nutters in order because Rachel's not here.
I'm
Get
keeping
well
him in
soon.
order.
Rick Stein says, everybody. Thank you very much,
That's the
gentlemen.
one, Rick Stein.
Rick Stein, yeah. Went to his restaurant in Padstow.
Everybody else has been to his restaurant.
Yeah, I know, but it's
Just
really
stop showing
good.
off.
I'm not showing off. It's just that's the first place I had both oysters
And scallops.
and scallops,
Together.
one after the other.
Did you have them on a stick?
No, you don't eat oysters on anything. You just go from the.
I know, it's disgusting, isn't it? Have you ever had snails in garlic sauce?
Yes.
They're beautiful.
They like chicken.
Well, yeah, I can't eat them now because I
Can you
realise
imagine every
what they are.
vegetarian's throwing up at the moment?
Well, is a snail not a vegetable? It's not very intelligent, is
No.
it?
Anyway, the Scallop Wars. Back to the Scallop Wars. There's a Barney. This is just not new news. There's an argument between England and
Well,
France.
why did you put it in?
Well, because England and France are always arguing. For goodness sakes, we always argue. But there's a possibility. There was compensation to be paid to the Brits, who now don't seem to have had the money. And here we go again. We've got another argument.
Yeah, we have. Now it's not only the French and the British, it's the molluscs as well.
Yeah, the molluscs are having a pop. No, I can't go there. I cannot go there. Oh, dear. But you see, everybody goes on about EU law and how it's all, harmonised across...
Only if they're from Lancashire.
Yeah.
EU.
And yet the French fishermen are very unhappy because they're banned from fishing in these scallop places during the summer, and yet the Brits are not banned for the same period of time. There is not a common fishery policy.
I've got a table with the scallop's edge. I might eat that.
You despair sometimes, don't you?
I've not ate it yet.
You just despair.
RTI.
Everybody okay? Remember your training, all right?
RNLI lifeboat crews are unpaid volunteers. They rescue 22 people every day. On a lifeboat, training is a matter of life and death, and it costs £1,000 a year for each crew member. As a charity, we receive no UK government funding, so our crew's safety depends entirely on your donations. Please call 0800 543 210 and donate £20 or whatever you can afford. Because next time, this could be for real.
RTI. Have mercy, Mr. Attitude, Eric Wiltsher. Eric, give me a break.
All right, then. It's part 2 of Postcard from Poprad with Leigh.
Hello.
And me.
How do you do?
I do well. How do you do?
I do extremely well, thank you.
You sound like one of the Cray twins.
I was doing you.
That's one of the great ones. Vladimir Putin's been attending war games.
Naughty Mr. Putin.
The biggest since the Soviet era, which come at a time when the Russian economy is in crisis.
Well, he's trying to do a deal with China, really, isn't he? And people are afraid that they're going to try and join forces to become this major
They've got
power.
no chance.
Well, I don't think they have, because I think China really doesn't need them.
Well, China would tell them to get lost anyway.
Yeah, but they're still there. They're still talking. They're still going through the process.
It's called lip service, I think.
Chinese lip service.
Chinese lip service. I can't believe this has been allowed to happen, but apparently it's not a terrorist-related incident.
There's lots of nutters out there who
There
are
are.
pretending
I swear they just want to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
A driver's ploughed through
Yes,
fencing
actually.
onto the runway at Francis Lyon Airport. They had to obviously halt the flights and get everything sorted out, which cost a fortune. There was police cars, helicopters were in pursuit of this guy before he broke through the barriers. And then the guy had to dump the car and run away, which is stupid, because anybody who tries to do that, I never understand why they run away.
Well,
I'm sure, I know
it's part of the game, isn't it?
I know it's human nature.
Let's put it this way: people who go on the run in cars when they've committed a crime,
Yes.
and they go on the run, they go on these horrendous journeys through cities and towns. They've got helicopters chasing them, cars chasing them. They're being videoed all over the place, and they know they can't escape. But it is the final rebellion of the criminal classes.
Yeah, I kind of get it, but what's the point of running away? Because you're going to get caught. If you
That's what I've just said.
it just, I don't know, waste of energy. I think
That's the problem, isn't it?
yeah, waste of energy. Kim Jong-un, the good old Kimmy, he's written a letter.
He has, and he's done it all himself in joined up writing.
Well, he did it on his own.
Yeah, and that Donald Trump can't understand it because it's not in big block capitals.
Well, it's probably North Korean.
No, it's been translated into American English for
it?
Mr. Trumpington, yes.
Oh.
And, he wants another meeting with him. Why would you want to meet with the world's most ridiculous man? The two most ridiculous men in the world, Kim Jong-un with his stupid hair and Donald Trumpington with his own stupid hair. What they're going to do? Compare notes, go to the hairdressers together? They are complete... What?
Have you not noticed one little thing?
Excuse me, you don't put that out on the air.
Well, Mr. Trump, Mr. Trump.
Did you just do that? That's disgusting.
Mr. Trump has...
It's not a Trump.
He has managed to stop North Korea threatening to kill everybody for the last few months, which is not bad in my book.
Well, he's been out threatening to kill everybody himself. He didn't want them stealing his glory, did he?
What?
What?
I've now got another message I don't understand.
What?
I've just seen the picture of your bike. It reminds me of Jasper Carrot when he was on top of the pops.
Hey?
Hey?
Is that Mr. Man again?
Yeah.
Dear,
I don't understand. To give you the Slovak lesson
biggest
of the day.
exponent of fake news there is in the world.
No, the Slovak lesson today, ja ne rozumie, which means I don't understand. I don't know, Steve. I really don't.
Me no comprehendi. That's Spanish.
Funky Moped, of course.
Funky Moped?
Yes. Yes, because that was the B-side of the song, which I won't talk about, with Jasper Carrot.
La bicyclette.
No, he had a rude song, and the B-side was Funky Moped.
Oh. That's about as interesting as Brotherhood of Man.
But he did Funky Moped.
Do you remember? Jasper Carrot used to be really funny.
He still is. He's back. Do you know he's gone back on tour again?
Well, he was a bit poorly, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, he was very poorly.
Yeah, and he used to be very, very funny. And if he's back on the road, I hope he's as funny as he used to be.
Yeah, me too. But we carry on. Apple has updated its iPhone X handset with 3 more powerful models, 2 of which are larger than before.
I only put this on for Rachel.
Right.
But she's not here.
Oh, shall we forget?
Yeah.
I kind of like Australia for doing this. I think they're good. A lady called Chelsea Manning was one of the whistleblowers who released documentation onto WikiLeaks.
Yeah.
She went to prison, and Australia was saying, well, you can't come here then, you went to prison. And she's complaining.
Yeah.
Well, what right has she got to complain?
Well, this is the problem, isn't it? Well, yeah, or if they don't want... I can see it in a way. It's a country that's built on criminals. You've got everybody, every man and his dog that had ever done anything wrong was shipped out to Australia. Yes. And so it's filled with families who have grown out of criminality. And now they're banning poor old Chelsea Manning. But why does she want to go there?
Well, why is she poor old Chelsea Manning? I mean, she got done...
In parentheses.
She got done...
Oh, I agree with you.
For leaking classified information to an idiot. Now, because the idiot published it, she goes in prison. Australia says if you go to prison, you can't come in or get a visa to come in.
Anymore.
You just can't do it.
Yeah.
So why on earth is she complaining? It's called the law. You shouldn't have dumped stuff onto the numpty around WikiLeaks.
Yeah. See, really, did he actually do anything any good?
No.
In reality, I don't think he did.
No, he did nothing at all.
He did a lot of harm.
I think he wasted a lot of money.
Yeah, and a lot of time.
For goodness sake, thanks, guys.
What's that?
There's hundreds of you on there. I just noticed. on You Now, I didn't realise. Sorry. Hello to everybody on You Now.
Hello.
I'll have to do it that way round. No, the thing is, she broke the law. She shouldn't have done it. The WikiLeaks thing did absolutely nothing. It's cost so many countries a small fortune, and it's done no good whatsoever.
Could it have done good? It could have done good. Why did The Guardian run with it so much? Why did they believe in it so
Well, because
avidly?
they like all this leaking stuff.
Yeah, but it wasn't really worth the paper ultimately it was written on.
I agree.
Yeah.
It was useless information. Google is fighting plans to extend the right to be forgotten. Yeah. The trouble is, Google haven't done much with it anyway.
Well, no, and, he's talking about the rewriting of history on the internet.
They shouldn't do that.
No, history is being rewritten, and one of the basics for history is what actually happened in the world. And if somebody's gone to jail for something or they've done something wrong, they don't have a right inherently within this world to be forgotten, because that's not what the basic of freedom of speech and the basic of the freedom of the building of history is based on.
No, but there again, if somebody has... It's a good option, if you like, to get rid of fake news.
Yeah, I would agree, and absolutely.
Where there's fake news, it's a simpler way.
Yeah.
Because if you ever write to Google, which I've done for several people, and you say that is fake, they write back and go, well, how do we know?
Check it out.
And I go, well,
check it out on the internet.
Yeah, check it out on the internet, guys. and the fact is that they don't do anything. They're so bone idle and really arrogant.
Well said, Mr. Wiltsher.
And that's what Google is. It's a very, very lazy, arrogant organisation who don't give a damn. And if they did, they'd sort things out. And the same goes to the amount of time I've spent getting one racist comment. And it was a truly racist comment off of Facebook. You wouldn't believe it, but I wouldn't give up. I would not give up.
Here's a very quick one. I'm sure you'll remember.
By the way, I will tell you that was the Muslim one.
I know.
It's gone now. At last.
Oh, was it gone?
Yes.
Finally. Yeah.
Finally.
Well, what about this one? You'll remember this is about 3 or 4 years ago, where we found something out about a fake Google office that was contacting people or various things.
Yes.
And we traced it into the building where Google had their offices. We phoned them up. This always nothing to do with us. I said, well, you rented space to them next door.
Yeah.
They said, nothing to do with us, and wouldn't do anything about it.
Ridiculous. And I also agree with this one as well. Jacob Rees-Mogg. Now, whether you like him or hate him, I don't
He's
care.
a nice man. I met him earlier this year. I met him in March this year, and he is actually a genuine, gentle, nice man. Whatever his politics are...
Forget that.
Yeah, it's what the calibre of the man is, and I think he's very trustworthy, very straightforward, not of my political persuasion, I have to say.
Correct.
What a good man, and he did not deserve this.
And what's happened, he's been pilloried by some idiots. Because they don't agree with him. And do you know what? If I had my way, they'd be arrested.
Well, they should be, but it's more than the fact that they pilloried him. They actually started to verbally attack him.
His children.
Through his children, saying, your daddy's a very, very nasty man. Your daddy's a bad, bad man. That is disgusting. Yeah. That isn't standing up for your rights. That isn't standing up for your political views. That's just being... I wish you could say really rude words sometimes on this.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and this 76-year-old bloke who did it, and he hadn't got dementia, he wasn't falling apart, he wasn't doolally. He
71-year-old.
71. He was
Ian Bone.
Ian Bone, yeah, Mr. Bone. Yeah, it's all sorts of... Anyway, he was then approached by the press. You know, those nasty, nasty newspaper people who asked him straightforwardly, would you mind if we said something about your grandchildren, Mr. Bone? He went up the wall. Yeah. He said, don't you mention my grandchildren. My grandchildren have got nothing to do with this. Well, Mr. Bone, what are Jason Rees-Mogg's children got to do with your political views?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. You should never, ever drag kids into... a debate like that anyway.
No.
And in fact, you know what? I think, Mr. Bone, you're lower than lows. And if you are in a political party and they accept you and keep you, then that political party is lower than low as well.
Yeah.
I don't know which one you're in. British government hits out lies of the Novichok attack. They got the two guys, of course they found the two guys like they didn't know they were, and put them onto RT, which is so funny. RT is just like... For anybody who remembers the old days of bing, bong, bing on shortwave radio, Russia, this is Moscow calling, and they would vomit this junk onto the airwaves.
Diatribulous tripe.
And RT is not dissimilar. There are some funny bits on RT, I have to say. It's quite funny.
I watch it now and again.
Yeah, it's really quite funny. But it doesn't show you the real Russia. No. It certainly does not give you an unbiased view.
No.
It tries to pretend it does.
Yes.
To stay within regulations. But it's being watched like crazy by the regulators. More so than Press TV, which has also been banned now in the UK. So they've had their licence taken away. And it's just rubbish. And I have to say, the one thing I liked about Boris Johnson this week was saying, come on then, I'm calling you the people that did it. Come and sue me if you think I'm wrong.
Well, that's right. Yeah. Boris Johnson isn't the buffoon that he's painted out to be, and he's been exposed for his personal peccadilles. People say that what's that got to do with his political life? Well, it's actually to do with the man's veracity and the man's honesty and the man's trustworthiness. Yeah. That's why he's been exposed. But for him to say that, these two Russians, now we have to ask the question about their veracity. They say, well, no, actually, we were just tourists. We were just having a trip. Our friends have been telling us for ages to go to Salisbury because it's such a wonderful place, and we had to go and see Salisbury Cathedral.
Yeah, right.
But they didn't explain why in the film there wasn't any snow. They didn't explain all those sort of things.
Oh, my Lord. Never mind. Anyway, we carry on. Harley Davidson are upsetting me a little bit.
Oh, no.
Because they're apparently going to bring out an electric motorbike next year.
Oh, one knows that you can run on the sound.
Well, you have to get a decent recorder in there and play your sound as you're going down the road.
Of course, it'd be silent. Yeah,
it will be silent.
At least our bike goes pum 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 pum.
It's all of a sudden our bike now. Marvellous. Yeah. But no, it's true. And Volkswagen are stopping production of the Beetle next year.
Oh dear. Actually, Beetles, they are good. Those, right, no, forget that. Carry on.
You've changed your tack there, haven't you?
I was going to a place that even I'd have been ashamed of.
I think you could be right there.
But that's what they were very good for.
Well, yeah, there's that to it. Steve reckons finally the streets will be a bit quieter. No!
He's right.
No.
No, Steve, there is something about sitting there and just watching Mr. Wiltsher give a little twitch, and it goes like that.
And you have to get the victory sign right. Have you noticed?
Yes, we're not doing the victory sign, because
all of us spikers, you know, ladies and gentlemen, us spikers, we're also nonchalant when we say hi and we wave back. It's so cool how we wave back. Or you just have your fingers on the front brake and you just... victory, as you do.
Everybody thinks you got arthritis, though.
Thank you. I'm not the one struggling to get on it.
It's only because your head's in the way.
You're the one that's. I can't do this story because we've been too flippant today.
Which one?
No, that one.
No, that's a terrible story.
I know we can't. We can't really do that.
We'll do it again next week because it is worth saying.
Was that an impersonation of him on his bike, or when he wakes up? Probably when he wakes up, Steve. That's when they unplug him.
No. The waking up sign doesn't go. It just goes.
Yes. Right. I'm going to do a subject that is not on the list because I've got a couple of minutes, and I want to do this as a public service information thing.
Is this the one?
No. There's been a lot of, as per usual, rubbish written on Facebook about what will and won't happen post-Brexit. Now, this is for you Brits.
Yeah.
A lot of Brits incorrectly assume that you have a right of residence in an EU member state. You do not.
No.
You do not, boys and girls. If you're sitting there in Spain or Germany or Belgium or wherever you happen to be, thinking, I've got an EU passport, I can live here, I can work here, I can do whatever I want here, as long as I don't break, the laws. Actually, in a lot of cases, you are breaking the law because everybody assumes that you can go and do what you want. And it's different in Spain, in France, which I've experience of. It's also different in Hungary, in Bulgaria, in Poland, in Slovakia. Czech Republic's different again. Each one of the EU member states is not in tandem with one single law on movement of people around the EU. You are much better off asking not just the British embassy if you're already there, but if you're in the country now, go to the Foreign Office and double check you're still entitled to be there, because in certain cases, even with your EU passport, you're only allowed to be in member states for as little as 90 days, and then you're an illegal alien. And if you get caught as an illegal alien and nicked, you can't come back anymore. Your EU passport does not do what they say it does. Or actually, the EU never really said that, but they seem to use the free movement of up to 90 days as being free movement.
There is a lot of hysteria attached to this, though. Really, we seem to be adopting the attitude that what will happen if there's no deal, that every country in Europe is going to go wild and chuck every Brit out, and it ain't going to happen.
No. It won't at all. In fact, the truth is, Germany exports a massive amount of cars to the UK. Do you really think the unions at BMW are going to let Mr. whatever his idiot name is in Brussels ruin their jobs? I don't think so.
It's a lot of things like that. And certain people who are taking liberties might find themselves in more jeopardy than they are at the moment, and because there will be a backlash, obviously, but it's not going to be this grand sort of Hitler-esque turning against the Brits.
Of course it's not.
Across Europe and say, that's it, you're British, get out, we don't want you here.
Not going to happen.
What's going to happen to all the foreign nationals who are in Britain? Are we going to kick all them out? Of
course
we're not.
Don't be silly, that's ridiculous. And for some of you who don't know what it is, I'll try and explain it briefly. There was a great TV show years ago called Harbour Lights on, I think it was on ITV actually in the UK. It was an interesting scenario. what was his name? I'm trying to think of his name. Nick Berry, that's it. He was the star of the thing. And there were 2 other characters in there. One was Tony, who was the mogul of the town. He owned just about everything. And then you had this rather old-fashioned handlebar-wearing moustache person who was the mayor. And he kept saying, Tony, you know, if you're very good, when I stand down, I'll put you up for election as mayor. You're bound to win. And Tony was just a normal bloke, so he went back and said, yeah, well, I don't know if I want to do that. I've got a lot on my plate, got a lot of businesses to run, blah, blah, blah. One day, the mayor said, Tony, can I have a word with you in the office? He said, what office? He said, the gentleman's office. Goes into the toilet, still wearing his chain around his neck, his bog chain. And he said, Tony, you've been mixing with the wrong characters. I really can't back you to stand for mayor in the future. And he said, do you know what, Mr. Mayor? I don't care. I've got all the money. You haven't. You've got about as much power as a wet lettuce leaf. So I don't want to be mayor. Thank you very much. Bye. And that's the truth.
And isn't that
Mr.
a story
Barnier
that's played out across the world so often?
Yeah. So, Mr. Barnier, don't be the bloke who's the wet lettuce leaf. Rub up.
Yeah.
And get on with it. Just because your mate Jean-Claude put you there doesn't mean to say you've got the power.
Well said.
Because next year, don't forget everybody, Jean-Claude retires as president of the EU from his £312,000 per annum salary. I'll say that again for you slowly. £312,000 salary. Not only that, he has a housing expenses allowance, a normal operating expenses allowance, an office expenses allowance. The man's on a minor fortune.
Yeah.
Don't ever think that this is the man that stands up for the workers. What does he do with his 312,000? Puts it in his pension pot.
How much does Jeremy Corbyn get paid? Sorry.
Played. I think I don't think
it's 67,000, isn't it?
Well, he didn't take the last pay rise, did he? He refused to have it. But I think it's 68,000.
And I'm not having a go at Corbyn.
No, I'm not.
But isn't that more of a realistic figure for somebody who has to live in England? And
Well,
to have
the other thing is, let me put it this way: Jeremy Corbyn was voted in as a member of Parliament. Jean-Claude was not voted in.
That's right.
So he's got a huge salary, more than the leader of the opposition in the UK, and definitely here, and also more than the Prime Minister, for a job where really he was never voted in.
What's the Prime Minister? 112,000, isn't it?
I don't know. I thought it was higher than that now. I thought it was 130, but I could be wrong.
Can't remember.
It's not a huge sum of money for if you compare it with business. In actual fact, Jean-Claude, for being what he is paid about right. When you consider that the UK Prime Minister...
You were talking about in the corporate terms.
Yes. Yeah. So he's about on track. However, you look at the other members of the EU, they actually don't earn anywhere near as much.
No.
You know... that's right, Steve, you're right. Jeremy has to take the money, but he donates it to charity. Because he has to do it. Yeah. And fair play to the man for that.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, it's it is a good thing to do. And it's a point I want to make just before we finish. You know, so many politicians on both sides, right, left and in the middle, I don't agree with. But I do respect politicians who stand their ground.
Yes.
And I don't care whether they're from...
Like Jacob Rees-Mogg.
It can be... Well, yeah, even compared to Jeremy Corbyn. He stays, most of the time, he stays where he is.
He stays with his political views, rightly or wrongly.
And good luck to him.
And so does Theresa May.
Yeah, absolutely. So equally as good as each other. Blimey, we've got to go. You're cleaning your car this weekend, aren't you?
I'm not. I'm going playing out on our motorbike. I'm going for Zombies tonight,
yeah,
which you're welcome to come along for. And then I'm playing about on our motorbike. And then I'm going to record a show about being hungry.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what else I'm going to do.
Well, Steve is going to be our conference correspondent in 10 days' time at the Labour Party conference. It'd be nice, actually, Steve, to get your views on that, actually.
Yeah.
It would be nice.
No fake news, though.
No. Got to be pucker.
Yeah, pucker.
Pucker
He did
store.
say pucker.
I did.
So did I.
Well, that's all right then. As long as you said pucker, I don't care. Well, that's it for us for another week. Well, thank you so much to everybody that's joined in.
Absolutely.
Thank you to all the lovely people sending us like messages as well. That's very sweet. That's really sweet. Thank you. And to everybody joined in on Facebook as well. I hope we didn't break up too much this week. And just wherever you happen to be in the world, have a lovely and safe weekend. Do be careful with this funny weather because it goes hot and cold like a yo-yo. And especially with the little ones, they can get very dehydrated very quickly in this sort of... It's a sort of sultry temperature, isn't it?
It's very strange. Very strange.
Very strange.
Yeah.
Time to say goodbye, Sooty.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Isn't it nice to hear him? Takes you back to those very fond years.
When people used to put their hands up,
and the grass was greener, and the money went further, and we all lived in freezing cold houses with no central heating. See you later, goodbye!
Ba-ba-ba-boom. Radio Tatras International. RTI. Enjoy.